It's always fascinating to see how people use Raycast because it's such a personal piece of software that's obviously so customizable by design. Everyone sort of develops their own little quirks and individual ways to use this tool that's part of our everyday computer life. And I think that's beautiful. So today I'm going to share 6 unconventional, unpredictable, and sometimes underrated ways to use Raycast. Users love to take features and apply them to their lives in a way that it totally wasn't designed for. And you know what? Sometimes they're right. And Raycast embraces that. So let's see how we can misuse it to our own advantage. I love search menu items as a way to quickly fire up commands inside any app. It's great, it's reliable, it works like a charm. But an underrated way to think about this command is that it can almost work as a quick, searchable, and easy to reach manual for every app on your computer. For example, the other day I was using Arc, the browser that I still actually use, and forgot the hotkey to copy URL. So I used search menu items to look for it. It's only when I did that I saw right below the option copy URL as markdown, which not only did I not know it existed, I also didn't know the hotkey for it. So now, just because I used this command, I feel like I learned something new about the functionality of an app that I use all the time, which could be useful for me someday. And I think search menu items is an underrated discovery method and a great unconventional way to use Raycast. There is this very popular book by Tiago Forte called Second Brain. Actually, I have it right here. It's basically a method for collecting and organizing stuff that you want to remember or use it in some way in the future, but outside of your brain, so you don't get overwhelmed and you can actually get stuff done. I've always thought Raycast is a great match for this second brain framework, and a very quick way to start incorporating it in your life is with Clipboard history. It's really just a mindset shift. All it is you have to remember that everything you copy is not ever going to be lost. You can just search for it later. So just copy. Every time you read or see something interesting, just hit Control or Command V, and later, when you have time to go through it all and organize it however you'd like, you can just trust that the Raycast Clipboard history will have kept it all there for you. We usually talk about this feature as this sort of advanced paste action, which I absolutely still stand by. But looking at it from this angle, of it just being a great way to confidently accumulate stuff that you can and want to deal with later, it just gives it this extra power. We usually think of snippets as a quick way to input text, and there's many different ways to use it: to correct frequent typos, as a coding palette, for email templates, etc. We did a whole video about them a couple of months ago. You should check it out later. But an unconventional way to think about them is that it can also be a library of text chunks that you might want to refer to rather than use somewhere. So you can use snippets as a way to store little cheat sheets for your life. Say you have a photography cheat sheet so you can remember what's the impact of aperture and shutter speed at a glance, or just a list of the main shortcuts you use in your video editing app, or even your V60 recipe tips for when you want a more acidic brew or a sweeter one. In Raycast for Windows, you can actually group all of these snippets under a cheat sheet with the new tagging feature, coming soon to macOS, by the way. Stay patient. This is a really hidden one, so comment down below with a calculator emoji if you knew what I'm about to show you, because I doubt anyone did. The calculator that's built into Raycast is super powerful. Everyone knows that at this point. And one of the cool things that you can do is date calculations. So I can do something like days until April 1st. That's my birthday, by the way. What a lot of people don't know about is there's a calculator history command, which keeps a tally of everything you used it for. Now, here's the unconventional way to use it though. In calculator history, you can pin stuff from the Command K action panel, like a lot of other places in Raycast. And stuff in calculator history will always be up to date. So once I pin my days until April 1st query from earlier, voila, I have a live countdown to my birthday that will always be there for me with the right answer. This next one is a little silly, I'll admit that, but the sad thing is we don't really get to do this in Raycast because we all work from home. But if you work at an office and you want to prank your colleagues that use Raycast, maybe on April 1st, why not? You can sabotage the most used apps by setting an alias for them with a much more annoying app. Say you want to prank your Vim-obsessed colleague by sneaking into their laptop and setting their Xcode alias to warp. So they have to endure the Xcode startup time the next time they try to launch their terminal. I'm not saying you should do that, but you could. We usually think of quick links as either something fixed, like always opens your GitHub page, or dynamic, like a search tweets quick link, the one I personally use a lot, that allows me to pick an account from a drop-down. But there's an unconventional way to set up a quick link that's a very clever muscle memory trick. It's easier if I show you an example. Let's say you've been using Claude Code from Terminal to work on some personal projects. Well, one week it might be a to-do list web app, a classic, but maybe the next one it's a photo booth you're building for your kid's birthday party. The projects change all the time, but all of them live inside a folder that you open in Terminal. So if you set up a quick link for wherever your current personal project lives, and even better, add a hotkey to it, you can set it up so it opens in Terminal by pressing a combination of keys. And then, whenever you move on to the next one, you can just search for it in root search, press Command E or Control E to edit the quick link and update the path. The name, the default app, and the hotkey will be the same, so your muscle memory will always know immediately what to do. Alright, that's it for today's tips. Do you think you use Raycast in an unconventional way? And did this inspire you to experiment with the features in any way whatsoever? I hope it did, because what I'm trying to show you is that you can just explore the features and use them however it makes sense to you. Anyway, let us know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more tips and news about Raycast.